Well, it is a grueling 10-week process. Hundreds will apply to be a part of the Rochester Fire Department, but only a handful will ever be asked to partake in the intensive hiring process. Around 300 applicants tested, and only 2 are in the current academy. The competitive job takes much more than just physical strength. It is mentally taxing. Take a look at these statistics from the International Association of Firefighters. They estimate 20% of firefighters and paramedics have post-traumatic stress disorder, a rate similar to combat veterans. Only 3.5% of the general population will ever experience PTSD. Awareness is the focal point for many departments, including Rochester.
Copy, heavy smoke, entry times 2, 3rd floor.
You're going into an unfamiliar space and it's pitch black, you can't see, you can't really hear anything.
For RFD recruits Marcus Gudgel and Mike Buss. Every day of the academy has brought with it new challenges.
Physically, the hardest thing is just, quite honestly, has been our search and rescue training that you watched yesterday. I mean, that is tough. That is hard work.
It's what Captain Caleb Fine describes as a strength-driven job.
Depending on what they take in, just with their gear, their SCBA, some tools, they're anywhere from 85 to 100 pounds without actually finding a victim and having to drag them out as well.
It's a high-risk, high-reward job that Rochester native Mike Buss has longed for since he was a teen.
The very first time I interacted with this department, I was 15 years old, and I knew then that I wanted to. And 18 years later, I finally got on.
Training scenarios like this help to reinforce the skills that most people often associate with the fire department.
And that's what we have to train on during the academy, is all those unknowns, all those potentials, all those scenarios where we have to get creative and really just use our best judgment and our skills and our training to get the job done.
But pulling hose and battling a blaze is only a small portion of the actual job in the fire academy. Dealing with traumatic events comes with the territory.
You never are really fully prepared until you're in that position.
Highly dangerous situations outside of fire.
We go to everything under the sun. When they don't know who else to call, they're going to call the fire department.
The majority of calls firefighters will respond to in their careers are medicals, from cardiac arrest and car accidents to suicides. Captain Fine tells me communication is key.
Being there, having a good support system during a stressful event where they may see something that dramatic or that traumatic.
The mental exhaustion of the job comes as no surprise to Gudgel and Buss.
You rely heavily on your teammates that are there with you.
The people that I work with and the people that are going to be in these circumstances with me are going to be the ones that we're all going to sit down and get through this together.
2, 3.
When the brotherhood just isn't enough to handle the stress, there are resources available to ensure these brave men and women get the help they need. Well, we talk about line of duty deaths and PTSD. The #1 cause of death among firefighters is not the fire itself, but the toxins and carcinogens they are exposed to at the scene. It is often a silent killer rearing its ugly head in the form of cancer many years later. As for Gudgel and Buss, they graduate academy this Wednesday.